They just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, every single day, without the stop. Please watch the first two episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Good evening, everyone. It's me again. Yes, talking about something different tonight. Talking about what's going on throughout the world. And I've got to say it, I think Trump is unhinged. I really do. I really do, because he wants to control the world. He's come out and said, because he says, what about the UN charters? And, and he said, what for? Take no notice of them. I'm doing what I'm doing. And he's just, to me, that's the sign of a psychopath. And what he's doing about these oil tankers is blatant piracy. Blatant piracy. And what's being done about it? What's the EU said about it? What's the UN? What's the definition of the UN? Well, it says United Nations. So it's all collective. All these United Nations is collective. Nations together. But who runs it? Who runs the United Nations? Trump goes in, the Americans go in when they want something done. And when there's something against America, they just stop it. Has America ever been sanctioned by anybody? Going into Venezuela, kidnapping the president of that country, a sovereign country, and his wife, and carting them off to New York to face trial. Is that right? Remember, Putin went in to save the people of the oblasts of Lugansk, Kherson, Crimea, which was already in the Russian Federation, Zaporozhye, and, of course, Donbass. The Donbass, I'm sorry there, I was just looking at something here. You can't. Something came up, you've never seen it. So anyway, he went in to save these Russian-speaking people who were being more or less executed, which they were, some of them were, obviously. 15,000 people died. And Putin for 8 years was saying, will you do something? The point here is I'm making, he went in to save these pro-Russian people Ukrainians. That's what they are, Ukrainians. Because no one else was doing it. The West wasn't doing anything. Well, we all know why now, don't we? And this is after the coup d'etat in 2014 to overthrow the legitimate president of Ukraine because he was pro-Russian, but he's also pro-Western as well. But the Americans didn't like that, so they had a coup d'etat, threw him out, put in puppets, and this is why you've got a war today. Simple as that. No other way. So, what you have Venezuela now being attacked. You have the West up in arms over Russia going in. This is why they want war with Russia. They want a war with Russia. Even Biden's administration, you know that it was a proxy war. They were poking the bear. Russia. To go in and have a war. That's what they did. And they thought Ukraine could take them on. But now you've got a similar situation. Up in arms, don't forget the West, Europe. Oh, you can't be doing that. Let's have a... Giving Zelensky, the most corrupt leader, if you call him a leader, I don't. Tons of money, tons of it. Billions. And he keeps buying houses and nice golden toilets and things like that. Pure gold, by the way. Where's he getting the money? Well, he's skimming it. Like the rest of them in Kiev. The Kiev regime. But they're still giving him money. Billions. Venezuela gets attacked by America. They kidnap the leader. And as I said, bring him to New York. Is anyone saying anything? Is anybody saying anything? And what you've got now is all this AI stuff. All this AI stuff. Saying, oh, what's his name? Greenwald, fella named Greenwald. He's got his own show. And he said, look at this, he said. Is the reality and is the fakeness. And you see the protesters protesting against America the day after in Venezuela about America. Get America out of here. Get America out. Screaming and shouting. Then he says, so that's the reality. But what's being shown on television, especially in the States, is this, and it's the AI, where, you know, you see them praising America. It's so phony, the very same. So you have one reality and one fake. Of protests, jubilation and protests. So phony. And this is what it's about. The AI. Today, you don't know what's the truth. Congratulations, Myra, getting engaged. Could have flew over to me. I was married yet, rather than get engaged. Always miss out, you see, don't I? But are you, Frank and friends? Are you, Myra? Lovely to see you, sweetheart. It really is. And the boss, I know the film show is tomorrow, but saw in brackets at the time of Vietnam Coppola's Garden of Stone. Are you sure that was Coppola and not Oliver Stone? Well, anyway, now on YouTube, we're watching is not a Hollywood war film, but about ambitions, about war, mentioning, and about life. I've seen that actually years ago. Apocalypse Now I've watched with Brando and Martin Sheen. And the boss carries on, needed to watch Life of Brian again this week to remind me how insane 99.9% of people on this planet are, and not lose any sense of humour about it. Scum media, cleverer now, dumbing down everyone. You see, I know what you're saying, boss, but you know, there's people who live in faith and hope. I do. There must be something better than this, what we're going through. Good evening, Frank and Legends. Smash the likes on the way in, says Johan, all the way from India. Our mate, our little mate. Lovely. Great to see you. Honest Myra, boss, Johan. Great to see you. Mr. Polo. Hi, Frank. Sorry I'm late. No, you're not late. I'm late. I'm late, mate. So you're not late, Polo, mate. He's only limited by his own morality. Talk about an inflated ego, says Johan. I think he's unhinged. I understand about the ego. I understand about that, but he's not listening. You know, they're coming out with all these peace plans. There's no way. It's like Germany, say like in the Second World War. The last days of the Second World War, for example. And Germany coming out with a peace plan saying, now listen here, this is what we want. You take all your troops out of here. That's what it's like. So the Allies are saying, oh yeah, well, all right, there we go. It's just like that now. Like Russia saying, oh, okay, yeah, oh, yeah. We'll leave Ukraine. Not going to happen. Not in a million years. You say one Russian soldier dies. To Russia, one Russian dies. One Russian soldier. Trying to save Russian-speaking people. That's what you call the great sacrifice. And they're not going to stop until they achieve their goals. And one of the goals is to get out the Nazis, the Banderites. And what did they do? What did Ukraine do? Went and sent a few drones, missiles into Belgorod. And what did Russia do? The Orishnik. Because Macron, didn't he? He said, we want to put troops in, but we'll be right out of the way of the Russian artillery. What did the Russians do yesterday? Sent in the Orishnik to Lviv. Unstoppable. It's invisible. It's invisible to everything, including radar. Invisible. And it can carry a warhead, a nuclear warhead. It can carry that. But it doesn't need it because the devastation it caused. Because they hit an infrastructure that holds reserve gas that even feeds Europe as well, about 40% of it. And 50% goes into, or 50% goes into Ukraine alone. And they hit it. That's big. That is big. And that's right to, and the Kiev as well. So you see, you don't mess around with them. But they keep doing it. But it's not Ukraine. It's NATO. That's who's doing it. That's who's giving the intel and everything. And they're sending in the drones. Big mistake. It's getting destroyed. Ukraine is getting destroyed because of the proxy war. And no one can see it. I can see it. You can see it as well. You spot on, Frank, says the Polo. Thanks, Polo. There's Steve, my old mate. Hey, Frank and chat. Hey, Steve. You're not out tonight. Good evening. Dicomas. Well, anyway, how you pronounce it is, yeah. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bella. Buonasera, Franco in chat. Buonasera, Bella. Come stare. Polo, Glenn Greenwald, that's him, Glenn Green. He's good, Glenn. He's good. And Steve says, protesters in Iran being supported by Donald Trump. It looks like another Arab Spring, which turns out to be Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Yes. Venezuela and Iran people should join the dots. Thing is, as well, what you're actually looking at, Steve, is old film. It's old. Demonstrations that happened for a long time ago. That's what it is. So you've got to be careful of what's real and what isn't. Because there's no internet, don't forget, in Tehran. Well, Iran. But there's no internet in Tehran, the capital. So you don't know what you're watching. But apparently, according to sources, these are old, like demonstrations that happened a very long time ago. And that's the problem with today. You know, you get lots of fakeness. It's like everything else, isn't it? Everything fake, unfortunately. And Nachi says, Frank, put your number 9 Liverpool shirt on. Bang one in the back of the net. I won't marry you, however. You can walk me jog for half an hour and let him cock his leg. Thanks very much. So I've been rejected for marriage, unfortunately, by Archie and Myra, the lovely Myra. Take me tongue out. Love you, Frank. Love you back, Archie. And Dennis all the way from, don't forget, you know, you've got to send, and Dennis, listen to me. You've got to come and see me this time. Do I have to go back when I come over? And mate, no, Dennis, because you're an entertainer. You don't give a toss about what's going on. And what I mean is, I know you give a toss, but there's no need to worry when you get here. I want you to come and visit me, by the way. Bring your bands up, the Incurables. They might cure me for something. But it depends on when you go, and I'm going away at the end of May. I'm bringing my daughter over to Verona and my little granddaughter because she loves Romeo and Juliet, and I promised her that I'd show her the balcony. Juliet's balcony. So, I hope... Do me a favour, Dennis. Send what date you're coming over around the 20th or 15th or 20th or something like that. We will see you. And come and see me. For Christ's sake. Last time he came over, ladies and gents, I thought he was appearing at the Cavern. He appears in both the Cavern Club and the Cavern Pub. And when I went into the Cavern Club, and he said, no, they've been on. And I didn't know he was appearing at the Cavern Pub. And I was looking around to see if I could see him. I had a couple of beers, came out to see my daughter, Francine. But she seen me. She was in a pub over the road. And I went off with her and her mates. And he was appearing at the Cavern Pub as I was going with Francine for a drink. That's our friend. And Stephen says, the judge, killed in a car crash this week. Coincidence? Yes, of course it was. Very coincidental. And as Johan says, the Orishnik is 10 times faster than the speed of sound. It's invisible. Can't see it, can't detect it. And that was a warning to Macron, who says we could be out of the reach. Now, Lviv, what was it? That used to be part of Poland. And what happens with Stepan Bandera and his Banderites, the Nazis? It was awful what they did to the Polish people. They were executing them in the street, dragging them out and just executing them, the Polish people, because they were Poles. That's what the Ukrainians were doing, the Banderites, executing anyone. Lots of Poles, thousands of them, 400,000 Jews, Russians, disabled, any ethnic minorities executed. And that's the Banderites. This is one of the core missions of the SMO, Special Military Operation by Russia, to get these people, because they are fighting today against Russia. And we're supporting them. Think about that. We are supporting them with arms, weapons, money. These are the same people that's skimming off the top. Can't make it up. You just can't make it up what these people are doing. Horrible people, the Banderites. And it's a bloody shame that we support them. And no one has said a word, but they did say, oh, yeah, I forgot. Hiya, Ali. I'm going to call you Rally anyway. That's what I know you by. Know what I mean? I had to get rid of my name, Brad Pitt. You know, I still get called Brad today. All right, Brad, making any movies lately? Yeah, making a couple. The Wales is getting, no, the Wales is going mad. Love and respect, Frank, says the Archie. Thank you, Archie. Does your dog send love and respect? That's the main thing. And your mum, Scouser. And Polo says, it's well known Mossad, CIA caused trouble in Iran, Ukraine, of course, as well as putting out fake hair stories and Wi-Fi blackouts, electric blackouts. It's what happens in Venezuela, wasn't it? But you know that a war's coming. Did you hear what Trump was saying? He's going mad at Norway and the people for not electing him as a Nobel Peace Prize. He's in every war. He's going to attack very soon Iran. People are going to be killed, and he's wanting a peace prize. Hey, for Israel. I can always go to the farmhouse to get my fix. Do you know what, Dennis? I'm the only one. There used to be Larks in the Park. You know, all bands playing. And I'm the only one who gave it a talk there. From all about, and it's not that funny, because when I was mentioned, you know, I was giving this talk, you see all the oldies, you know, sitting in front, and all these young people who were expecting me to give a song with a guitar, come on with a guitar and start playing. And they said, but at least they stood there and sat there as well and listened. I was made up with that. So he has all the oldies sitting there, you know, listening. The Lark in the Park at the farmhouse. Brilliant. And we've got a well-known, or he was, you know, he's passed on years ago. His name is George Melly. And he had it all fixed up because it was a terrible wreck. The farmhouse here. Fella named Moncur, a Scottish fella. He designed it on the big glass house in Stanley Park. They designed it. Beautiful things. Oh yeah, we are well. Oh, brilliant. I'll see you there because I'll be here. Made up with that. But you've got to come and see me. You have to come and see me. And have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or even a beer. If I know you're coming and you want a beer, I'll get some beer in for you. You and the Incurables. Be nice to see you, Dennis. Really. I'll even advertise you as well if you say okay. I'll also let our Francine out, of course. And when you come and see me, she'll be here anyway. come and see me. She'll come and see you. Not to see me, but she'll come and see you in the ink yard. Your mates, the ink yard. And Steve says, yes, Frank, some of these films are protest, are old, or in other countries. Yeah. Yeah, like Polo said, he gave me the name of Glenn Greenwald. And he said, yeah, look at that, and you see the reality, and then you see the AI. That was for our American audiences, by the way, unfortunately. Johan, have you seen the tweet from Mike Pompeo, ex-CIA, on the Happy New Year to every Iranian protester and the Mossadegh walking alongside them? These incompetent fools reveal the script every time. He's a horrible man, Pompeo. What did he say? Yes, we lie, we cheat, we thieve. That's the CIA. And you've got the likes of Edward Snowden, who has to, lives in exile, away from his country, for whistleblowing this lot. Or that lot. Shocking. And Julian Assange, by the way. Tony and Terence Jones. Shame, our family favourite, Maggie May. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone, unfortunately, boys. The owner there, Terence and Tony, was a friend of mine, good friend of mine, John May. John Lee, I'm sorry, not John May, John Lee. Trump might bomb Mexico. Yeah, he said. He's actually said it. And they're going to destroy, especially Rubio, Cuba. And that's the Polo, that's the, as Johan said, egotistical of the man. When he can fit it in the schedule. And you've got the likes of Greenlands. What's he going to do with that? He's got a fucking cheek. Sorry to swear so early. Do you know what? FIFA gave him this is where football's fucked. FIFA gave him a fucking peace prize, for God's sake. FIFA. They've invaded a country that actually plays football. Where's the World Cup being held? America. What are they doing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I think the World Cup should be boycotted. I really do. Fuming I am over Venezuela. And Bella says, sorry, Franco, my eldest son just arrived to see me. Have a great night. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, sweetheart. Have a good night with him. And that she says, people are waking up, Frank, unfortunately, not quick enough. Our mum used to kick me old man into touch. I see it through a 1970s teapot. Throw it a 1970s teapot at him. If he hadn't ducked, she'd have done him in. That's the Scousers for you, actually. And Dennis says, I'll be staying with my mate, Steve, across Egbert Road from the port. Walking distance from St. Michael's. St. Michael's was the second, get onto this. It was built in 1816, St. Michael's. And why I'm telling you this is because it was the second building, all right, it's a church, but it was a building nevertheless, to use an iron infrastructure in the entire world. Yep. John Cragg was the Iron Man, and Rickman was the architect. And the first one was in 1814, St. George's, just where I live. I can actually see it from where I live. St. George's Church, first building to use an iron infrastructure, because every infrastructure around has wooden infrastructure, not iron. And the Liver building that you know there, that you know of, Dennis, was the very first building to use steel, reinforced concrete with steel in the world. And that was in 1812. Dennis, it's a day, good man, made up, Dennis. You and the Incurables. One of the best names ever in it for a band. The Incurables. And that, she says, there was a stainless steel teapot. Oh, not a mug one. Stainless steel. And the boss, if we don't like the world we are in, who cares? Hang on. Who care? Are duty bound to take action to change it? No, no one cares. Allah Gandhi. Best wishes, Frank and Chatters. See you in the film show tomorrow. Love this channel. Thank you, boss. Got a couple for you to watch tomorrow, but I'm not seeing them tonight. Got a few films to put out tomorrow. And Jenna said, I already planned boycotting the World Cup since Russia. FIFA's so fucking corrupt. Of course it is. Everywhere is. Everywhere is, Dennis. I'm afraid to say. Everything. I've only got to look at your Congress and Senate. The bribes taken by the senators and the congressmen. Incredible. And he doesn't even go, Trump, to Congress to say, listen, I'm going to start a war, okay? He just dismisses them. And Stephen says, according to an old episode of The Simpsons, Donald Trump will suddenly die on the 10th of January 2026 during a phone call. Really? Yeah, because that was mad, wasn't it? That was predicting everything. The Simpsons. I love things like that. You know, I look at Eric Blair, known as George Orwell. George Orwell. The Orwellian philosophy. And when you look at the likes of H.G. Wells, another great philosopher, incredible. Incredible. What he predicted. You're even going back to Leonardo da Vinci. Incredible. Actually, me Auntie Frida was well. Oh, me Auntie Frida was Welsh. Me mum loved her. What a double act. No wonder I've got confused. A Welsh auntie, eh? Scouse mum and a Welsh auntie. I will have to come and see you. Dennis Paparak, yeah. That'll be good. Stay. Come and fucking see me now. I don't mean now, like now. Just come up. Have I got your phone number, Steve? Have you got mine? You can get in touch with me, can't you? Come and see me. And it'll be great to meet Dennis at my home before you go down to the either the pub or the club, cabin that is. Dennis is flat on the edge of upper floor of an old converted merchant's house. I think it was built in 1805. Can see the church clock tower from his dining room window. Oh, go away. Go away. St. Michael's, yeah. Very suburban there, Dennis. And it would have been a merchant's home. It would have been very rich people. Still a sought after place now. And the paparazzi says, Ta, Stephen, we'll get the dates out as soon as available. We have asked the promoter for slots on the 22nd and the 24th. We usually get booked into both venues. It'd be great if you did. I like the pub's great, you know, for the atmosphere, but you've got more room, haven't you, in the club? I'm made up there, the dates, made up. Because I'll be going away at the end of May. I think, or first week in June. Dennis says, January the 10th, my Brazilian ex's bedroom. Can only hope. Yes, he was married to a Brazilian girl. I remember I was asked to do some English. You know, I have what you call a TEFL. Teach English as a foreign language. And I was asked to do these people. And one of the girls was Brazilian. She's like Miss World. And she was knocking about with this teacher, you know, who's there. Fucking hell. I said, you can get better than him. I shouldn't have said it like that. I said, fucking do better than him. Should have fucking seen it capable. And the Archie says, Frank, of course we are, 1984, of course we are. You can even go back. You can even go back to Shakespeare, 1594 or 1588, when he said this wonderful quote. He says, what a terrible era we live in. Idiots governing the blind. Idiots governing the blind. And that's what it is today. And it goes back to Shakespeare. That's why I always do the literature, the history of literature. with my old mate, Anthony Brown. UEFA changed the Champions League final from Russia to Paris, and it turns out to be a big fight. Of course, we were going to St. Petersburg. I was taking Francine, and I was cancelled the European final. In our little France, we're going to St. Petersburg to watch Liverpool. Got cancelled. And yet there's a country that's been invaded by America. A country for nothing, based on lies, propaganda. Maduro, the leader of a drug cartel. Did you see his wife? Broken ribs. Did you see her? It's shocking. Big black eye, horrible. When she was standing in the dock. And they said, oh, she got that in jail. No, she fucking didn't. Shocking. I'll be talking about Tyson in a minute. And Dennis says, when we play the club, it's always on the biggest stage at the back. I know. A fella brought me to, I said, are the incurables on you? Or if they, he said they are, and he showed me where he is where. He said, they've gone. Oh, fuck. So we had to finish my beer off and went, as I said. And I was going over to the pub, to be honest, because I know Paul Capper, as you know. And Francine shouted me. She said, Dad. And I went with her then. Her and the mates. Missed you. And that she says, Ronnie Biggs married a Brazilian lady. She gave him freedom with parenthood. Yes. And he has a facelift, didn't he? So you wouldn't recognise him. And there's no fucking change. People recognise them. In fact, I tell you who paid money to go and arrest him. Shall I tell you who it was? Jim Davidson. You know the comedian? Thinks he's a comedian, like him. I'm funnier than him. And actually his mum's funnier than him. Even Johan's funnier than him as well. Talking current affairs, to all new tangent with the Brazilian girl comment there. Yeah, you can easily go off on tangents. Dennis Paparak's fault. He marries one. I should have seen the fella she was knocking about with. Fucking hell. I say, you're better than him. And he was standing there. And me instead. Welcome to the People's Republic of Redneckstan. Hey, Dennis, you've got a commentator over there, a fella named Jackson Hinkle. Now, I used to follow him. I subscribed to his channel. And I was just sitting there one night listening to him. And all of a sudden, he just came out and went, he was talking about Ukraine and Russia and, the usual fucking stuff. And all of a sudden, he just came out and said, England, he said. Nothing there for me. He says, anyway, they're a nation of inbreds. Couldn't believe it. There was no need to say that. And he was serious. He said, it's just there. The island is just there. That prick. Sorry about this. Oh my God, what a prick. Yeah, he did say that, tennis. But, you've seen him over there. American lad. He's only in his mid-20s. As I said, I subscribed to him. That was a year before last he said that. Unsubscribed. I won't even watch him. I watch the George Galway show. And every time he's on, I just turn it off. That's it. Shocking what he said about us. Bloody hell, Frank. Jim Davidson. Oh my God, Nick, unbelievable. Was it his mate Sharky? Lenny Memmott. No, he doesn't like him, does he? That's it, the number. Yeah, he wanted him, Jim Davidson. Because I think he said, he's a big monarchist, don't you? He stands up on a Christmas Day and when the Queen's on, and God save the Queen and all this. God save the King now. And he says he was stealing the Queen's head. The great train robbery. And we can't allow this, he said, in this country. We can't allow it. Jim, Nick. True that. I've been spending most of my downtime watching ice hockey, both types of football and documentaries on YouTube. Most recent, Rabbit Hole, Memory Seekers channel, Chester, Lincoln, Chichester. It's nice, Chichester, Stratford. What about Liverpool? What about Liverpool? Scouse not English. Have you seen that, Dennis? Wait till you see what I'm going to put out this year. I'm going to sort it. Got let down last year and the year before by a person I trusted. Never again. They haven't been yet, but they are working on it. It's been done. Scouse not English, Dennis, it's been done. I'm in it. Me. Your little mate here, me. So if you Google it, Scouse not English, why Liverpool is so different from the rest of the country. It's the title, Scouse not English. And it's good. Not because of me, but the whole of the programme. The actually, Frank, you've educated me tonight. Thank you. No, thank you. So you see, when you get the likes of Mr. Trump and wanting to take the world on, that's what he said today. He said it. get onto his social media platform. Shocking. And as far as ICE is concerned, they're murderers, them. Did anyone see that lady? She dropped her lad off, a son at school. She was about to take off back home after dropping him off. And she seen a car coming up and she was flagging it on because she was having to hang on, go out. She seen it, hang on, let's do it like this. She was pulling out like that. Hang on, where am I? Coordination set out. She was going out like that. But she seen a car coming, right? She seen a car coming, so she waved it on to go through. And it just stopped. And this fucking big burly fella got out. So she, must have frightened her. The lady. And she took off, went to take off. And to go, because shit, fuck you. And as she was turning like that, the fella ran up and fucking shot her in the face. Killed her. ICE. And he said that her car was a weapon. It was cold-blooded murder. Fucking shocking. Shocking. And that's one of the most diabolical things I've ever seen in my life. I follow a lot of crime, American crime, to be honest. And, trials and whatever, and there's some horrible people. Like Chris Watts, killed his pregnant wife and his 2 little daughters, 2 little babies, killed them. To be with another fucking woman. And these are what I look at. Things like that, horrible. But that was cold-blooded. I've seen some cops, some baldy cops, pulling over ordinary motorists. And the way they talk to the motorists, shocking. And I was made up with the mayor of Minnesota. Get the fuck out of here. That's what he said. ICE. Fucking disgusting. And Johan says, it's on Terran Friedman's channel, Scouse, not English. Thanks, Johan. He wants me to do one this year, follow up. Because when he did it, I'd just come out of hospital. I said, I can't do it, I can't move. So I said, oh no. He said, you're being highly recommended. I said, well, if you want to do it in my home, just come up. I'll do it in my home for you. And he did. And he said, I had him on my show. And then he said, would you do another one? I said, yeah, no problem. I think it'll be done this year sometime. But I'm doing my own thing, which I think will be good. I've always wanted it. This is my little legacy I'm going to leave. It's just going to go on YouTube, I won't be sitting here like that. And it'll all be done. What I'm going to do. Because I was talking to a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, whose friend he does all these drone things. And it's brilliant. I'm going to get Jason to put a few things on, clips of this fella's work. But I don't want it done until, more or less summer because I want Liverpool in a good light. It has to be sunny. And it can be here. Thanks for that, Johan. Little Linda. Even a Frank. Even a Lynn. And Dennis says, she was murdered and this administration is, covering up for the ICE thug that shot her 3 times in the face. Ongoing protests in Minnesota. Good. Get the fuck out of Minnesota. That's him, yeah. The mayor, Jacob Frey. To ICE yesterday. Brilliant. Made up with that. And I've seen that myself. I mean, Frey, Jacob Frey. You can't be having that. It's lawlessness, though. It's like fucking Dodge City. And the bands are coming in. And then there's a shootout. That lady was dropped her son off at school. 37 years of age. Fucking hell. You know what I mean? Most probably she has like friends, you know, to say, I'll see you for a coffee. I'll just drop the lads off. See you later. And she's fucking dead. You know, most probably she's made plans for the summer. That's what I mean about a poem. A poem, the first 2 lines of a poem, a war poem, by the way. He's gone. And all our plans are useless indeed. Think about it. Now, her husband could be saying exactly the same, and her friends and family. She's gone. And all our friends are useless indeed. All our plans are useless indeed. Think about it. You make plans. Everybody makes plans. I've just made a plan to see Dennis Paparak and Steve Mulholland. You make plans. Everybody makes fucking plans, even if it's going down to see your mum. You make a plan. Like Johan. He made plans to go to India to teach. Voluntary, by the way. Giving his time up. He's going to be mentioned in the philanthropy, by the way. I'll be doing a thing on philanthropists. And there he is. ICE is not about immigration. It's about having a militarised police force doing the bidding of the government and keeping the population under control. The lady was a mother to 3 young children. They've lost their mother. Think about it. Tulsi Gabbard. I'm very disappointed in Tulsi, by the way. Was on holiday in Hawaii when Maduro was kidnapped and stayed quiet. She is now supporting Trump after months calling out the CIA regime change operations and US terrorism. She's getting paid well, you see. Tulsi. I'm very disappointed in. I'm very disappointed in Trump because how did he get to become president of the United States? The most powerful office in the world. He got through on a campaign of peace. People believed him. And MAGA, Make America Great Again. he got in on that. And peace. Let's trade with the world. Napoleon was the same, by the way. Napoleon. When he went on people think he went on a rampage, fucking the war machine, they were always at war, Europe. And he said, why can't we just trade? Why can't we just trade? Just like the old common market, let's trade with each other. Why fucking wars? Yeah, I'm very disappointed in SD. I really am. There's a few I'm disappointed in. I'll tell you who I like if you follow any of them. Is Rand Paul, a senator. He calls them all out, but he's on his fucking own. He's with another fella as well, calls them out. Forget his name, unfortunately. But Rand Paul has been calling them out for a long, long time. And you get an old general, American general named Kellogg. Fucking liar he is. He's a liar and giving misinformation to Trump, and Trump listens to him. Trump listens to Kellogg and Lindsey Graham. A worm. He's a fucking worm. The Senator Graham. And do you know what? Do you know Trump, when he was campaigning, Graham hated him, hated Trump, because he was wanting Kamala Harris in. And he hated Trump. And yet he was wanting the Democrats in because he's a Republican, like Trump. Hated him. And even Trump, when he got in, he said to I think he's senator for North Carolina or South Carolina. And he said, I want the people to vote him out. Now he's fucking mates with him, playing golf and everything, and listening to the lies and propaganda of Lindsey Graham. Fucking shock. And Johan, the worst thing is seeing the US government coming out and calling a domestic terrorist to cover up. That's what he's like. That's what Mr. Trump is like. I'm afraid. President Trump. He's calling Russia as well. He's calling Russia. That's why Russia let the Ereshnik go and said, if you want to fucking call us, mate, yeah, we can put a nuclear fucking head on this. And he frightened Macron. Giorgia Meloni, she came out and she said, we'll have to talk to Russia, and we've got to talk to them. That frightened her. You get the likes of that Mark Rutte, a phony, a fucking phony, if there ever was one, head of NATO. He's a failed politician, by the way, in the Netherlands. He was a joke, and they used to call him a fucking big liar, so you can imagine what he's like. You've got the likes of von der Leyen, President of the EU, who voted her in. She's a fucking bureaucrat. Who put her in? The WEF. Or that George Soros. And she's got as a head, a head diplomat, Kaya Kallas of Estonia. And she hates Russia. So does von der Leyen. So do them all. They all fucking hate Russia. They're all Russophobes. And Russia won the war. Well, the Soviet Union did. If anyone won it, they won it. First into Berlin. Then you have the paperclip, Operation Paperclip, which I'd love to talk about. And do you know what that was? Operation Paperclip, right after the ending of the war, to get all the Nazis out. And where did they go? Here, Canada, and America. Do you remember last year? Was it last year or the year before? When Trudeau was Prime Minister of Canada, and he gave a standing ovation to, was it Hunker? A fellow named Hunker, a Nazi. A Nazi. And he gave him a standing ovation. He was a Nazi in the war. He got photographs and everything of him. And Trudeau said, oh, it wasn't my fault. I didn't know what he was. Fuck off, you liar. And he blamed the Speaker of the House for it. He got the sack. See how phony it is. You can't make these things up, people. You really can't. I was talking the other night about BRICS. And this fella says, what does BRICS stand for? I think it was Hachi. And I said, it stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and the S. And what I was going to talk about Fico of Slovakia, because that was next. And I said Slovakia. And it wasn't. It was South Africa. And it was funny because I seen the comment come up for too late. And I said, by the pages, I'm measuring you. You answer to me. But it just came out, you know. You do say things like that, if you know what I mean, if you're thinking ahead. Because, right, I was going to talk about people against Ukraine, and Slovakia is one of them. And as you know now, so is the Czech Republic. And Ali Danus was on there before. And what happened to his country? And Georgescu is by the EU, von der Leyen. She cancelled the elections because he was going to get in. She cancelled them. And she's saying it's not democracy. If we get in, it's not democracy. We want to give Romania democracy. You can't make these things up. If you write a fucking script for Hollywood and say, yeah, I brought that, and they'd say, oh, fuck off, I don't want to believe that. But it's happening. It's happening. Dennis agreed, Johan. There you go. Steve Mulholland's ICE is like the Gestapo of 1939. I'm doing a thing where I'm doing the Purge next Tuesday evening because football's on Monday. Spoils everything. So on Tuesday, I'm doing the Purge, what was happening here in this country. Ethnic cleansing. You wouldn't believe that, would you, of this country? Ethnic cleansing. The Purge. And it went on for over 100 years. And I always remember Thatcher saying, I want to put the great back into Britain. The Great Britain. And I said at the time, it was fucking when we were great. When were we great? Great seafarers. That's it. With the likes of Drake and cook. And Dennis says, and the bitch that heads Homeland Security is a heavy made up plastic surgery disaster. That's not Pombondi though, is it? Who is it, Dennis? Oh, who is it? It's not Pombondi, is it? She's is it Pombondi? She's another fucking dodgy person here. Dodge City is coming to England. Wyatt Earp has already taken away the guns. We are living on a sinking island. The future is not looking good, says the Hatch. No, it's not looking good at all. There are many things in life, really, we can't even I used to plan holidays and go. I only went to Italy, to be honest. Been all over Europe, but I only go to Italy now. Been going for years. And, you plan them and you go and you have a great time, you come back. One thing I never ever did when I went away was buy a newspaper or listen to the news. I wanted to get away from it. And it was great. Not hearing anything. Brilliant it was. And it's a sad indictment today that you're worrying about going away. You never know what's going to happen. You really don't. You just don't know what's going to happen. Because the West has made so many enemies out of people that they're here. And they're in America. They're everywhere. And this is why this ice was made up. But as, we all know now, it's not about immigration or these migrants, illegals. It's much more sinister than that. And it's put the fear of God into ordinary American people. People who have got a bit of a brain cell, to be honest. The IBR, even in Captain Don Franco reporting for duty. ALIB. You're right there, Dennis. I know that. We think Graham is actually a homosexual mole. He never married, and there's always been whispers about his glass-doored closet. Yes. That's why they call him Lindsay and things like that, don't they? The ordinary Americans, that is. It's shocking, It really is shocking what's going on in the world. Really is. And Johan says Tucker and Trump is increasing military budget from 900 billion to 1.5 trillion because the military industrial complex are preparing for World War III. Well, that's why you've got well, you know, something nick again or something nick at the end of it. An underwater missile floating in the coast of America. Gone. Gone. 2 missiles have only got to this here, bang, gone, they're gone. The little island is gone. Unless you're living with the reindeers up in Scotland somewhere. The big antler things. Do you know, this is true, this is true. I was going to Scotland. This is when I met Clint Eastwood, actually. And we travelling up to Scotland, and we had this couple in from Birmingham, and we were driving up, and it said there's a basin, right? There's a basin. True. There's a basin, you know, beware of the basin, you know, driving fucking in Scotland somewhere, you know, so beware of the basin, you know. And this fella from Birmingham said, "Is the bison here?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's somewhere around here." He said, "Oh, can we stop and have a look at them?" I said, what are you talking about stopping? He thought that he was fucking bison. Can we stop and have a look at them? I said, "Oh, fuck off. It's a fucking basin." Oh, honestly, see that. Can we stop and have a look at them? Nobody was bison in Scotland. It's bison in Scotland. Do you know they were bison in Scotland? Anyway, as she says, Napoleon went into Russia with 600,000 troops. Only 10,000 came out into the valley. Wrote the 600. That was yeah. People really think about, the Crimean War, and it was just the British, the English. It wasn't. The French were alongside us, and the Ottomans trying to take on the Russians. But you're right there, hundreds of thousands. But the winter killed them. Just like Nazi Germany. Winter killed them. Froze. The guns froze. Everything couldn't fire them. And I'm talking about big fucking guns that fire shells. You couldn't fire them. They couldn't fire them because they're frozen. The US need the Venezuelan oil and mineral wealth, says IBR, for war in Iran and Russia. Argentina's out of it. They made sure, America made sure with Mealy, the president. I said Brazil, that's the first name I mentioned there, Dennis. Brazil. And they forget about, they really forget about China. They forget about them, in all honesty. Because China is massive. And they've got these missiles. I was listening to, I don't know whether it was Scott Ritter or was it Jeffrey Sachs? I love Sachs. Meschmeyer, but Sachs is the boss. Was it him or I forget who it was? I think it was. No, I'll tell you who it was. It was Colonel McGregor. And he said that they have missiles, China. If we went, so he said, as the US Navy went, well, you know about that, Dennis, because you're an ex-Navy lad. And he said they've got missiles that can penetrate any ship, including the aircraft carriers. He said, it'll just blow them. China. And you've got Taiwan, haven't you? Because there's Trump who's given Taiwan, billions of arms, billions of dollars worth of arms. What for? It's a part of China. You see how they provoke? And have you noticed they never provoke North Korea? And people think that it's just a dirt road in Korea. Have a look at Pyongyang. Stream Pyongyang. See it? It's not a fucking dirt road. It's incredible. See, people just take notice of, what they read and what they see on TV. And it's not at all like that. The reality is stark. It really is stark. When your eyes open, you go, whoa. Whoa. And you realise some of them went to South America as well. Yeah, they did. Yeah. You've only got to look, haven't you? This is why Israel is so, involved in Latin America. It's not just a matter of, you just see NATO where it is. And NATO are getting slaughtered. It's not Ukraine who are fighting the Russians. NATO. They've lost nearly 2 million men. Ukraine. 2 million. So they've got no soldiers. So who's fighting? Who's all of the resistance? And, there's the Brits wanting Zelensky as the leader. And he's worse than Zelensky. But there's Budanov, and he's going to become a leader, and he's worse than Zelensky still. So there's your escalation. It'll just keep on and on and on, but it won't be with Ukrainians, the Ukrainians. It'll be with the Azovs and NATO. That's who's fighting now. That's who's fighting the Russians now. But they're still getting slaughtered. And they've captured a load of Azovs, Panzerites, captured loads of them. They're not going any fucking way. They're going to be put on trial, that lot. The father of NASA, Werner von Braun, was the chief missile scientist that developed the V1 and the V2, yes. And he was the brains behind the American space race. But it was the Russians who won the space race. With Yuri Gagarin. Well, Sputnik first. They sent the satellite around. They sent us. I was doing a Jürgen Klopp, not a slot there. Annie Slot, Annie his name is Annie fucking Slot. Sent a satellite around, put Yuri Gagarin in space. He won the space race, no matter how you look at it. And they've been sanctioned since 1924, when the Soviets put them up there. And they've put the first woman into space, Valentina Tereshkova. Yuri Gagarin. But you're right. Dennis von Braun. He was a Nazi, by the way. He was a Nazi. He's in the paperclip, Operation Paperclip. Tony, Tony. Frank. Trump is a two-faced Adelson puppet. Yes. He says one thing, then does the other, does another. Remember, he was going to put Hillary in jail then. He wins the election and immediately praises the Clintons. He's a liar. Yes. Hillary Clinton. Do you remember when she said, when she heard about Gaddafi? We came, we saw, he's dead, and laughed about it on television. Laughed. Shocking. And Gaddafi, you know, if you don't know about Gaddafi, Gaddafi was good to his people. He lived in a tent. He said, I'm living in this tent until every Libyan lives in a house. And he gave wonderful dowries to newly married couples. Besides a place, he gave them like the equivalent of then 60,000 quid in our money, 60,000. He was good to his people, free energy, free everything. It's just like now today with Trump wanting to take over Greenland. Do you see the benefits that the Greenlandians, that's what they're called, gets from Denmark? Everything is free. Free healthcare, free everything, free education, everything is thrown in, besides money every year. And Trump's trying to buy them off with 100 grand. Then they'd have to pay for, like 20 grand for an operation or something out of that. But they get flown from Nuuk Airport or Ilulissat Airport to Denmark for operations. I've seen it because I used to follow Nuuk Airport, and I know that Trump for years, not just now, for years, was wanting to buy Nuuk Airport. And I always wondered, why does he want to buy fucking Nuuk Airport? Because they just done it up. Denmark's done it up. Brilliant international airport. And they're doing it now with Ilulissat Airport. The building. Fantastic. I used to follow it. I used to always be on it. And I always wondered why Trump wanted to buy Nuuk. Now I know why. Because he wants to put his fucking planes there. The American planes. Because there's a place called Carlyle or something like that. And the Americans are there with all the fucking big bombers. I've seen them. Carlyle or something like that. Funny name. Look at stream it. Just stream Nuuk Airport and go on the channel. And you'll see all these airports. But when you see this Carlyle or something like that, you might just see the planes there. Sometimes they just go and come back. Fucking loads of them. Big bombers. Big propellers. You know them ones. So the Americans are well, not the Americans, but Trump and his cronies want to rule the world. This is the new order, but they're not going to be allowed because the de-dollarization is about to fucking explode in their faces. All because of Joe Biden. poking the bear. And did you hear what Trump said today? It's not my war. You know, the usual, it's not my war. I want the Peace Prize, because he fucking moans about Norway. He was moaning. He was really giving them down the banks. Why didn't I get the Peace Prize? And there's Ricardo saying, oh, you can have it. You know, I'll give you it. Fucking hell. And she wanted fucking Trump to bomb the fuck out of Venezuela, and she got the Peace Prize. She was trying to do coups for fucking years. And believe it or not, she's a Mossad agent and a CIA. But you know, you didn't know that, eh? Need to run, folks. Wrapping up my work week. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Dennis. Thanks for your company. Love you, man. Love you, man. And you'll answer Dennis. Cheers, Dennis. Take care. And there's pints and everything. If you ever see Glazers in Tampa, tell them that we ate them. On FSG in Boston. We're bringing in the sloop, man. And Johan says, Christy Noam, the head of Christy Noam. Well, you can tell what she is, can't you? The head of Homeland Security called a lady in Minnesota a domestic terrorist. Dennis was referring to. The ones that had never heard of her. But mind you, Pam Bondi will come out and say the same. Won't she? It's just a shame, you know, that lady dropping a kid off to school, dropping a son off at school, and going home to be killed, shot in the fucking face. Her husband, her family, won't be able to have an open casket. I'd sue the fucking lot on us if I was that family. I'd sue them for fucking millions. I really would. Feels so fucking. It didn't half upset me, you know, when he invaded. Really did upset me. I was upset, I was angry. Thanks, Johan. IBR. I can see false flags coming soon to justify troops into course. It's a foregone conclusion, isn't it, Isn't it, IB? So my lips are sore, you know. And yeah. That's a packet of crisps. Them sensations, and they're not half sharp. Terrified to kiss the lips off their people now. Not that I fucking some people are there to kiss like that. Jay-Z Vance says, stay, uses eyeliner and mascara, and Donald Trump dances to the YMCA. It's funny, Maduro was dancing and he said, you know, he's getting at him, wasn't he? And he said, I'll teach him to dance. It's fucking shocking what they've done to that man. And no one said a fucking word. China and Russia have. bison, it's true that. Can we stop for a minute? I said, what for? He said, you see the bison? Didn't realise that there was bison in Scotland. I said, bison? Do you mean the fucking big animals that you get in America? He said, yeah, bison. See? I said, it's bison. Basin. There's a basin somewhere here. I'm fucking lit it then, you know. Honestly, truly. Bison. He said to me, like the next day or something like that, because this was in the fucking night time. He said, I made a fool of myself, didn't I, you know, with the bison. I said, no, you know, no, you didn't. I said, you just misinterpreted. Yes, it's true. That's a belief. Not many people will like this, but I think Putin should arrest Zelensky and take over Ukraine to stop the US taking all those minerals. But he's got most of them, hasn't he? The Donbass. All the better minerals are there. In the Donbass. That's already, you know, secured. Kubians is next. They're getting slaughtered there. They allow them to come in, just slaughter them. All the elite troops, and I think the elite troops are there. NATO, all the troops. Because Ukraine have got none. But you're right there, stay. As I keep saying, if Medvedev was president, he said, there'd be no Ukraine today. It'd be flattened. Everywhere it'd be flattened, especially Kiev. Fucking gone. He said that. But with the likes of Putin, he just gets military targets. Look what he's done with the Erishnik yesterday. He hit an infrastructure that feeds both Europe and Ukraine with energy. Gas, it's gone. It's fucking blown up. They blew it up with the Erishnik. And it was just to tell her, was it, you know, to Macron and any fucking, you know, European leader, we'll send troops in. And as Macron said, we'll be out of the way of anything like that. You're not out of the way of the Erishnik, mate. And that's why the warning was there. Then Macron was saying, isn't he, now, we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk to Putin. What's he going to fucking talk about? Giorgia Maloney, what's she going to talk about? Because they know now. You've got nothing to talk about. Paulie, Frank, what a minefield of information you are, says Paulie. Not really, you know, it's just that, look, my old professor said to me, I've said this before, he said, you break down. I was doing a paper, right, for them. And a 15,000 fucking word paper, by the way. Or was it 20? I'm forgetting now. But anyway. And he said, break down all the propaganda. Smash it down. He said, and you come to a wall. And on that wall is written the truth. And I went, oh, okay. And, you know, because I had to do something on Shakespeare, around the Shakespeare time, the social and economic issues. And then leap a few hundred years to Dickens, and a 10-year thing on the social and economic issues at the time. And then I had to do some, he said, what I want you to do is some Liverpool maritime history. And that's what I did. I said, any specific thing? I didn't want to do it. And he said, yeah. He said, what I want you to do is the slave trade. So I said, okay. I said, what for? I said, I really believe slaves were here. Not fucking one. Not one. I had to follow for 4 years. Went to the library, every ship from 1700 to 1807. Not one ship had slaves on. Not one. Come to Liverpool, that is. Because if they would have came to Liverpool, let's be, they'd have to cross. They couldn't come up the west coast of Africa, coming up to like Spain and Portugal, coast of Portugal, to going into the Bay of Biscay, because it's against the current. They couldn't do it. So what they'd have to do is cross over the Atlantic where the current was going towards South Africa, not South Africa, South America, Brazil in particular, and then sail up past the Caribbean islands, sail up the American seaboard, eastern seaboard, come right over into the North Sea, from the warm waters of what I said, from, say, the west coast of Africa over to Brazil. They're all warm waters. And then they sail right up, as I said, and cross the North Atlantic with ice fields, freezing cold water temperatures. And where were the slaves kept? They had no blankets. They had no heating. They had nothing like that. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing. They were in a hold. The bottom of the ship, leaky shit, water coming in. And then sail down into, say, the North Sea, because they had to, because slave ships actually went to Newcastle, and they'd have to come down Liverpool Bay into Liverpool, if, because we did have slave ships coming in with goods only. Because if they would have been slaves on board, they would have been dead. There would have been no one to look after them here. It wasn't economically viable, because these poor people who were deconstructed, by the way, and given identities, taken away everything they had, and then sold into slavery in the likes of Brazil, the Caribbean islands. That's where the money was. It wouldn't have been economically viable because they were commodities. Not one ship sailed up, came around. I'll tell you what did happen though. When they became a novelty, one captain, but he brought them to London, and they were two like young boys brought in, and they dressed them up as little foot boys, leading the people, the gentry to the coach to put them in. And when they became older, they went, "Oh, fuck that," and sent them off on slave ships into slavery. And they brought in domestics, women. But they weren't slaves, they were already in slavery in America. So they decided to have them over as domestics to clean the houses and things. See? But the captains brought them. The captains of the ships. So they brought the goods. All the goods that they were trading. No money exchanged, you know. No money. The only things that was exchanged were the goods. The likes of the rum. The likes of the cotton material. Molasses. All these things that you got in the Caribbean. They were all traded. Even fruits, spices were brought here for the slaves. That was traded. No money exchanged. They made the money here. That's why it wouldn't have been economically viable to bring them here. Anywhere in the country, by the way. The only person who brought Africans was a Captain John Smith. But that was around 1560 or something like that. No, it was later. But it was in the 1500s, late 1500s, about 1580 or something like that. 1590. And he brought them in. And to the Elizabethan court. They look what's here, look. And people were afraid, but they were amazed. They go, oh, fucking hell. Because they'd never seen anything like that. A person of a different colour. And then they were sent back with John Smith. There you go. And it's the Spanish, the Portuguese who were, and the Spanish who started off the slave trade. There was a Liverpool captain named Crow, and he said, it was weird, you know, what he said. It wasn't weird as such, but he said they have a better life in slavery, you know, like in America or the Caribbean, than they do in the homeland because of the savagery going on. Because there was always war and factions, you know, in Africa, fighting each other and fighting animals, he said, as well. Getting away from animals and things. That's what he said. But would you rather, you know, stay with your people? I would. Because they had aunties, they had uncles, they had parents, they had brothers, they had sisters, they had their own identity. Yes, when these poor people were captured, these poor wretched people, they were deconstructed, as I said, and given identities. They never said, you know, say like I was one, they said, well, your name's Frank now. Your name is Frank Carlyle now, okay. Wasn't like that. There was a fucking big brand on your back, or on your bum, or on your arms. A brand, red hot iron. Fucking shocking. Johan, it's the empire lashing out before the fall with all these military expansions. We've seen this cycle before. Spot on. Spot on. But he's going to be defeated as Trump. You know that the militia in Venezuela have got a load of CIA agents, you know. They've got them. And don't forget, you've got the fucking bandits in the jungles, the cartels, and they've got everything. They've got fucking all these fucking things, these big guns and everything. Missiles, they've got a lot. And they will join forces because it's their country. They'll join forces with the militia. So it's not over for Trump. And the president now, who's vice president, she's turning around and calls us fucking bluff. She said, no, you're not fucking having it. What's he going to do? Because he said, well, you haven't seen nothing yet. I'm telling you now, if he fucking goes in again, be a lot of trouble. Because all Latin America will fucking join forces, except the Argentinians. But if this all happens, Argentina, they'll get fucking rid of Mealy because he's corrupt. And he bowed down to Trump, didn't he? Because Trump said, I'll give you all this money, to the Argentinians if you vote Mealy in. Because he was about to be defeated because the people of Argentina knew that this fellow was corrupt. Yet they went, oh, okay then. And fucking voted him back in. He'd be gone. All the puppets in Latin America will be gone. And Paulie says, sorry of information. My brain goes wrong sometimes. Don't be there. What are you sorry for? Don't be sorry. Sorry, mine of information. My brain goes. No, don't be fucking sorry. Please don't be sorry to me. No one should be sorry to me. It's just nice that you're here, Paulie. Johan. Now that the gloves are off, somebody should kidnap Milakovsky. Yes. Fuck off with you, them big names. In the dead of night and take him to the Hague. Milakovsky is a Pole who changed his name to Netanyahu. Have you seen that Gal Gadot? What her name is? Fucking hell. What's it? Greenstein. Wonder Woman. Couldn't act the goat. And see the way that they're promoting it. She was in the IDF. In the Lebanon. On active service. What does that tell you? Active service. With a fucking big gun. And you want to stay. Have you heard of about J.D. Vance and his sofa? I haven't. J.D. Vance on a sofa. He's not stuffing money down there, is he? Like Zelensky. And Ermac's gone on, and he's in fucking Israel. They're all fucking Jews. Every one of them. I didn't realise that Ermac was one. Andrea. Forget his proper name. It's not Ermac, they just gave him that, didn't they? Anyway, Paulie says, what you told us about Gaddafi blew my mind. Imagine that kind of leadership in all countries. The West painted him as a madman. Again, Paulie, it's all propaganda. Honestly, a tyrant, a threat. I always seem to take to people our government hate. It's a shame. It's a shame. This is why when they had the referendum, Brexiteer, are you a Brexiteer or, you're in it? Yeah. Brexit. And this Starmer wants to go into the EU, which is so fucking corrupt. Von der Leyen. She's called Von der Leyen. Look at her personal background. Her family background, what she is. Look at Kaya Kallas, her family backgrounds, what they were in the Second World War as well. And mates, look at his fucking dad and granddad, what they wear with uniforms on, with a couple of letters, SS, Schutz Staffhelm. That's what the SS stands for, Schutz Staffhelm. And Stephen says, tell me about it, Johan. And that she says, ferry across the Mersey. Now that's maritime history. Unfortunately, here in Southampton, we've got the Isle of Wight ferry, the most expensive fare paying passage globally, and no one sings about it because the Isle of Wight is a very rich county, actually. And Johan says to Steve, when he was a teenager, he used to pleasure himself by go away. He wrote it in as, go away, Tizzy. No, Doddy. Yeah? Okay, now. I didn't know that myself. So I'll be looking at JD in another light. But they reckon this Marco Rubio, he's going to be the next president, don't they? Because of his hatred of Latin America. Because you're getting all the, do you ever remember when Trump came in and he said, I'm going to get rid of all these illegals. They're all murderers and rapists and fucking shocking. Look what the founding fathers did. William Bradford, 1620, when he was blown off course from Virginia and got to, I'll be talking all about that on Tuesday, the founding fathers. Nice people, by the way. And they all celebrate Thanksgiving because of it. Incredible. When we're doing the purge of this country, the purge. William Bradford, exiled to Holland. And Holland went, you can fuck off, go getting out of here. What he was doing in Holland, William Bradford, and his followers. Then he had to come back. Threw him out, the Dutch. And then they put him on a boat. Well, two boats actually. The Mayflower, the leader, over to the New World. And they got there in 1620. As I said, they were on the way to Virginia because there was already Virginians there. Blown off course, and they landed at Cape Cod. And what they did. And that will all be revealed on Tuesday night. Monday night would have been, but Liverpool are playing, aren't they? So I've got to do this fucking watch along. Barnsley. We're playing Barnsley. And PS says, truth equals the book of God. Justice equals the knife. Max Cady, pronounce Cady. I think I've said it right. Cape Fear. Robert De Niro. You're going to learn about loss, many biblical references in that film. Do you agree with the quoted scripture? It depends on what the scripture says, to be honest, PS. Depends. You know, to agree with an eye for an eye, no. That's one thing I don't agree with. You know, there's things, I don't know. When I was at school, little lads, little mad lads, running around wanting to play football, play with me mates, go and see Saturday matinees, playing football, that is, you know, with me mates, going to Saturday matinees, watching Up Along Cassidy and Zanzibar. I had to read the catechism at school because it was brought up in RC. And as I got older, and college and then uni, my mind was changed. And what I seen in France changed my perspective of everything. What I witnessed in France. And what it is, what I seen, and now I'll be honest, I'm useless at honestly, I am. I'm useless at estimating size and distance. I always remember when I got my first flat and I went in and I was ordering carpet and the fella looked at me, he said, "How big's your flat?" I said, "Well, you know, it's only little one." He said, "Fucking hell, lads." He said, "You'll be able to fucking fit everyone's house." He said, "What you want?" So proves that I'm useless at estimating things. I am, honestly. Anyway, what I looked at, what these people said, he said, he said, this thing, you're not going to believe it, but anyway, he said it's solid, which I knew it was solid anyway because I was looking at this fucking thing. And it was 350 feet in diameter. This was fucking big. And I was a mile away. And we were looking down at it. This is in the Dordogne district of France. And we looked at it for around 6 minutes. No one spoke. There was other people there towing caravans, a couple of camper vans and ordinary cars. There must have been about 20 people besides me and my friends who were on our way to Perpignan, south of France. Not going on the fucking roads that you pay tolls on. We were going the back roads, just like these other people were, apparently. And no one said a word. No one. No, a word never came out of our mouths. No noise, no nothing. And we were just standing looking at this thing. Looking down, as I said. And it was hovering. It wasn't on the ground. And it was a clear blue sky. And it went from there, up there, vertical, went into that blue sky at such a phenomenal speed that they said it was gone within 2 seconds. Gone, like that. 2 seconds. This solid, round thing, no wings, no nothing. I go, where am I? Just like this. Like that. That changed my whole perspective on everything. The whole perspective on life itself. And these lads were university lads like myself. One was a Swede. His name was Sven, but he has a funny. He never had like like Conrad or Johnson, Janssen or anything like that. It was funny, like a Far Eastern name, if you like. European, I'm talking about. And name Gilles Lafaux, a Parisian, and Christian Kirkheimer from Essen in Germany. And we were mates, and a fella named Chris from, believe it or not, very posh though, from Newcastle. He never spoke like that, He didn't speak like that. He spoke very posh, this fella. And we never said a word when we got back in the car. And it was another 3.5 to 4 hour journey. No one said a word. We don't know why. We just never said a word until we got there. Because we used to go into this bistro every year. And we were going down for the last time. And the next was, the fella said to us, the owner, bonsoir, messieurs, what you want? And this Chris fella said 5 beers. And he brought them over, and that's when we started talking. And that Chris fella said, gentlemen, we are now truly in the space age. Never forget that. Changed my whole aspect of life. Frank, could you please say Barnsley again? It's fucking funny. Barnsley. We're playing Barnsley. It's like the bison, isn't it? It's the bison here. Scotland. I didn't know there was bison in Scotland. And the IBR. Did you go to see the catacombs where they have thousands of skulls in underground tunnels in Paris? No. I went to the one at fucking hell. Never again. I come running out. In Napoli. Fuck me. Horrible. Fucking hell, the catacombs there. They're fucking hanging up. And P.S., what do you think of Liverpool? What do you think? Liverpool just fucking about having a crack. Just read the Gods of Eden, your honest thoughts. What do you think of Liverpool? What's that got to do with, your scriptures? Is that because they won their 6 European Cups, 20 league titles? Don't it? Hey. I don't know what you're talking about there, P.S. lad. I really don't. Having a crack. Just read the Gods of Eden. Your honest thoughts. I haven't read it. I wish, if I would have read it, I would have told you, bang. Like I've got a script here, we play. A play about war. That's my script. And COVID fucked it up. But anyway, that's another thing. P.S. Played well last night for 45 minutes, Liverpool, by the way. But they've been crap ever all season. Even last season. That answers your question. P.S. Was it? No, it wasn't, Johan. That was it. That, as I said, I've had 2 incidents in France, and that was the other one. But it wasn't on the same trip. I love France, you see. I used to just fuck off. Mates wouldn't go or any, they do. They're fucking stuck in it. What you want to go over there for? Fuck off. I'm fucking going over. But I was just a free spirit, mate. I just went on my own. But that was the first time I went on my own. Seen that. The second time was, met these lads, uni and that. And that was it. Used to go down to Perpignan, south of France. Brilliant. Perpignan. Free beach. Used to go cross over into Spain. Have a bevy over there. That's what I seen now. Yeah, Paulie. Like that thing there behind me. It changed me all. I used to, I was brought up in RC. Used to always go to church. But what I do every night, I always say 2 prayers for peace. I've said it all, from a little boy. As a little boy. Always pray for peace. And for people who are not, like you lot on there. True that. Every night. Whether I'm very tired or whatever. And sometimes I wake up during the night, forgot to say them, and then say them. Say them to myself, not out loud or anything. Don't kneel at the foot of the bed or anything. It's too cold for that. And my knees won't take it anymore. But it changed the whole aspect. And the PS says, have you stopped vaping? Fair play if you have. Didn't see no more cheeky puff of smoke unless you've curbed it. Never tell a lie. Never exaggerate on anything I ever talk about. Ask me a question and I'll answer it. That's what I'm like. In other words, I'm a decent fella, I think. So say so myself. My daughter thinks I'm great anyway. You're the best dad in the world, Dad. Okay then. And my granddaughter says, Granddad, I love you. And I say, and I love you too. My grandsons don't say it. They're too big. On a lighter note, says Johan, I watched The Boat. Is that The Boot? Das Boot. Brilliant recommendation. The acting was sublime. I was curious about the name of the ship. Oh, Ailers, yes. The god of the wind. The god of winds, the sea of the wind. And he's keeper of the winds in Greek mythology. Yeah. But he sends you to the death. Tell you what to watch. Saying that you're saying I said that. Oh, The Boat. Yeah, I told you about that, didn't I? Fantastic, isn't it? Oh, nice one, Johan. Nice one. He had a terrible voice, though, that fella, didn't he? Didn't he? The fella on the boat. A weird voice. Hello, I with you. I think he came from Barnsley. I'll tell you what to watch, Johan. If you enjoyed that, I'll give you one to watch tonight. Be ready for tomorrow. And it's called The Triangle. The Triangle. And what you see with Melissa George, if you see Melissa George, because there's a few triangles, you know that come up if you stream it. Melissa George, watch it. Watch it. It's good. Well, people, I'm finishing now. I took my painkiller. I went to Aussie today and the doctors and that. And I think I'm going to be sorted. Thank God for that. Really think I'm going to be sorted. Absolutely delighted. Because this doctor, seeing her, you know, she was great. She was great. And I was pleased with what she said. And she said, this is urgent for you. This is very urgent. And I said, thank you. So hopefully I'll be sorted. I'll be going over to India to see Johan. I won't go to America to see Trump. I'll be bringing my little granddaughter to Verona. I'll be going with Anthony to Florence, because Anthony, as you know, is a great artist, fantastic artist, and he's doing work, and he wants me to give a talk about this work. I'm being mentioned in an autobiography, someone's autobiography. This lady's, couldn't believe it. And we're going to Florence to see, the Duomo, Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci, that is, Michelangelo, Dante, Machiavelli. Think about it. Fantastic. Oh, there's Myra. Oh, Myra, I thought you'd gone, sweetheart. What was you at the doctor's for? I've been bad for a while, been put back on the back burner, poorly. And I can hardly walk. And I've been waiting to see this neurosurgeon and things like that to put me right, hopefully. And other things, a few other things. Thanks again, Franco. Catch you soon, says the IBR. Thank you, IBR. Thank you so much. Lovely, Myra. Later, everyone. Myra, love you, honestly. Break your engagements off and fly over to me. And we can watch all the films, watch Donald Trump. Everyone we can watch. And you can appear here with me. The IBR to Myra. IBR, Myra to IBR. Lovely. Fantastic. Paulie. Nice, all. Thanks, Frank. Prayers for you. Hope you get sorted. Yes, thank you. I will, hopefully. See, I'm always in pain as well. Unfortunately. Fuck. Fallen to bits. And on that wonderful note, thank you so much, people, for keeping me company tonight. Thank you. Myra Page, especially, coming all the way from South Africa. I love you, honestly. And congratulations once again on your engagement. And Johan, prediction for 2026. I think there's going to be a false flag during the World Cup that ignites World War III. Wow. Well, as you know, there's loads of false flags, isn't there? Remember the Poland one? When Zelensky sat here and he tried to blame the Russians who killed 2 people, 2 farmers. Remember that? There's loads of them, loads of false flags. So let's hope that'll be horrible. That'll be horrible if that happens, I think FIFA though should just say no more. That's it. Fuck off. We're not playing in America, and cancel it. Just fucking cancel the World Cup for what Trump did. That's in my opinion. Take the fucking piece, but just say you're not fucking having that. You haven't got us anymore. Fuck off. P.S. God bless you. Blue pill all the way. Hope you had a happy ending with the doctor. Yes. I was very relieved, P.S. I was very relieved when she said to me, and she was typing out and she said, this is going to, these people, urgent. In red, by the way. Put us in red. So I'll be made up, see this as soon as possible. And Johan, take care, Frank and legends. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. Yep. Don't forget, let me know if you watch it, the triangle, you will be made up. And you go, thanks, Frank. I think you're the only one who looks at things, Johan. Like the outsider. Do you know what? I told the doctor to watch that, The Outsider. Because she said, I'm thinking of her. I said, watch. And I said, do you like series? She said, I don't like big long things. I said, no, this one is, I think, 8 or 10 at the most episodes. I watched them back to back one day. Back to back. I couldn't take my eyes off it. I said, and that's The Outsider with Jason Bateman. She said, oh, I like him. I said, well, watch it. And you can thank me again when I see you. She said, yes. And she wrote it down. She said, I'll write that down. Let's hope she watches it. And her husband. She's only young. Fucking young to me. Everyone's young to me. Listen, people, thank you so much. Really. Ego Frank. Yes. I will be. There's a little dog. All these little gifts, whatever they are, gifts. Thumbs up, a heart. I don't know what that, I can't. 10 episodes of El Cuco. Great show, that. El Cuco. Is that the dog? El Cuco. Great show, that. I've seen a film called Cuco, was it? About a dog, a rabid dog. Horrible. And on that wonderful note, see, I have my glasses there, see. My reading glasses. Didn't want to wear them. Because they can kill me eyes. Do you know what I should be wearing as well? Sunglasses. I've got special glasses I had them made. Fortune. For the glare, because now I get this pain across my fucking head. It's like a migraine, but it's not a migraine, the doctor said. But anyway, thank you so much, people. Love yous all, really do. Thank you. And see you tomorrow on the film and TV review with Johan, because Johan's the only one who watches things. Actually wants you to walk his dog. Cuckoo was the boogeyman. Oh, yeah, the outside. Yeah, that's like Cuckoo, yeah. Oh, you're right. Brilliant, wasn't it? Wasn't that brilliant? Ben Mendelsohn was in it as well. Good actor, Ben Mendelsohn. Was Molly Ringwald's in there? Someone like her, wasn't it? You know, played Mendelssohn's wife. Well, anyway, I'm going to go. I'm going to make myself, what can I make? Went shopping today. Don't know what to have. I don't know what to have. Got loads of things there to eat. I was living off jam butties till our Francine comes down for me today. Went shopping. And Johan, PS to you. Johan, you can reply back to me. No. He's not, hey, don't be saying things like that. Please, don't like things like that. Not to our people. We don't call any names on here. The only names get called is me. I get called all the knobs and things. No, I don't. But anyway, on that wonderful note, thank you, Johan. Thank you, PS. Thank you, Archie. Thank you, Myra. Thank you, IBR. Thank you, everybody. See how good here we are. Hey? PS. Sorry, mate. Don't like PS. There you go. Good night, PS. Good night, everyone. And hopefully see some of you tomorrow. If not, Monday night football. Fucking watch along. Definitely Tuesday for me history. And the page. Thank you, people. Good night, everyone. Good night. Oh, yeah. All good, pal. Take care, Johan. Please fill us in on your travels. He's great, Johan. He's a great man. Believe you me. As I said, he's going to be mentioned in when I do my all these philanthropists, including my nephew, by the way. Sweet people. A girl named Annie McCann, she'll be mentioned. Along with people from the past as well. These are present day, what they actually do for people. People who have got nothing. I call them God's children. No matter what God you believe in. Night, Frankie boy. Night, PS. Good night, everyone. See you. Leave you on low. Good night now. Good night. I'll recommend a film. Talk to the review tomorrow. Okay, PS. Oh, that's cool. Good night, everyone. Love yous all.